Hi there. Thank you, Allison. My name is Paul. As she said, I'm the product manager for here at KLUS. And as she mentioned, this is Jeff, and he is the one of the engineering leads here at KLUS. And today we're going to be talking about the Giza Duo LL and some of the fun and exciting things that it can do and some of the things that makes it unique in our product offering and within the extrusion families. So that being said, I'm going to turn the beginning of this over to Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for listening in on this. This is going to be some information about our Giza Duo LL extrusion. We also have some videos to show on the use of our Wi-Fi RGBW controller that we may be able to get into as well. Well, Paul said it right as far as unique. The Giza LL Duo is able to do some gaps that we had. One, it's able to be mounted to the side wall, but its biggest feature is going to be that it has a light going both directions. So either top and bottom or side to side, depending on how you configure it. Here's going to be a little clip that's going to show you basically the details of what it looks like. So as we're discussing its features, you can get an idea of what we're talking about. Now it has a single end cap that covers two covers. You can fit up to 4 rows of LED tapes in here. With our new HE line of tapes, that can give you up to 1,400 lumens out each side of that. That wouldn't be delivered lumens, but depending on your cover choices. It's able to be mounted in fixtures that can be configured with the ZM connectors. So not only can you do the squares, but because of its bendability, as you'll see, you'll be able to do circular fixtures as well. This would be straight line, diamond, and circle.
So as you can see, these are some really interesting ways that you can use the same exact extrusion to get multiple different looks out of the same type. And as you can see in here, you can light the inside, you can light the outside, you can light both. But what really is very nice about that is how clean the line is when you mount that and you suspend it in the air. And just the fact, as Jeff said, that just the multiple ways that you can do it. As you see in this picture, all the circle shapes that you can do. And as you see that they're suspended from each other within that. So some really interesting, very unique ways to use this light. And like I said, it gives you an offering that you can use this same extrusion, but doing different shapes makes it look like you're using several different product lines, but you're really using the same thing.
You can combine that with some of our masking covers so that you can have both lit and unlit sections. When you add that to geometric shapes, you can come up with some pretty unique lights.
It's great. It's beautiful.
Okay, so the Giza LL would be the basic model this is designed after. This would be just a single direction standard square extrusion. This has been a very popular one. It's got a wall height that's just tall enough to get good line of light properties using our Leaguer covers. It also gives it a shallow enough to fit into a lot of places that our standard lipod wouldn't fit into. So that was where it shined as the Giza LL. It wasn't long before we decided to put 2 of them together and go from both ways. We've also had a very large request for circular fixtures. The bending process, it's difficult, and with the covers, you can't be done on all of them. This, coupled with having a nice finish that wasn't cracked or visible, that had gone through a stress, made it to where you pretty much had to have them bent to order. So these now, we have the ability to bend these into various shapes. It is recommended to have this done in our factory. I wouldn't really call this a field bendable product, but it does make for some great fixtures. Now, it can be done here, as you see, with the side to side. We also have versions of it where it's mounted up and down. However, you're not going to get the bend against the cover. So all of your bends need to go from side to side with the cover, or if you're up and down, they can only go up and down as in like a wave. We can do lots of shapes and polygons with the use of some of our new ZM connectors. This doesn't showcase too many of them, but we have X's and Y's, and we do L's. We also have some short ones that you see in the bottom of the screen here, the ZM minis. And these are so when you're bending the rounder extrusion or the rounder shapes, that you can still connect them together, hold them tight, and limit any kind of a light loss that you're going to see when suspending these.
The suspension is really clean. If you look carefully at this, you can actually see some very, just nice, clean lines. It's not bulky. It stays close to the extrusion. So it's one of the things that's very attractive to this. Like I said at the beginning, it's a very nice, very clean fixture in itself.
And how long can that suspension be, either from the first point or all the way down to the bottom of the fixture?
The suspensions can, depending on the number of mounts, they can go on as long as the run of tape or the room needs. As far as individual fixtures that are not connected to others, then it's going to be about 6.5 feet long. But with the use of the ZM connectors, you can extend these end to end as long as you like, as long as electrical considerations are taken into play. One of the other things to note here in this middle picture with blue background is you can then use these mounts, because of the symmetrical shape, to then have a cascade of other fixtures down from them. The other neat thing about this mount, it introduced our RG1 mounting system. This on the right-hand side there allows you for easy adjustment and leveling of your fixture. So no more having to adjust and measure and then go check. Now you can just put it in there. You can depress this top button on there, slide it until it gets to the right level, and then snip your wire to fit. It's a very easy adjustment system. These are some of the ZM connectors that I spoke of in the various X and Y's. We've got 90 degrees, 45 degrees, 135 degrees, 120. There's various ones. You can check our website for the complete list of them. This is showcasing our new G series. These have a little notch on them that you'll see there that allows for a 5-degree in either direction wiggle room to account for either improper cuts or an angle that's just slightly off what it needs to be for the room.
Well, when you look at these, you can actually envision each one of these extrusions following that path. So you can, in your mind, actually visualize all the different directions within these ZM connectors that you can actually chase with those extrusions going out. So it really affords you just a very wide range of different opportunities for taking these extrusions out in the design. So I don't want to say it's limitless, but there are so many different ways that you can do this that makes it gives you a lot of different options.
This is showcasing some more of the rings. This was a lot of demand for rings. So our initial pictures were a lot of different versions using the ring or circular fixtures in general. But we have also found by mounting this to the wall, maybe a standoff, you can actually have uplight and downlight, and it completely change the nature of it. It does not need to be or is constrained with just circular fixtures. It makes very nice straight polygons as well.
And are the drivers just up in the ceiling? Are they in a canopy? Does it just depend on the site condition? What's your recommendation for that piece?
Well, we have conductive and non-conductive mounting. So you will have some like you see here where there isn't a visible wire showing the electricity actually travels through the mounts. In that case, each wire is going to attach to the ceiling with its own individual ceiling point. We don't have a canopy. But then from behind the wall, you can attach your wiring. We have in front of wall versions as well, but they're all going to have their own individual mounts 1 pole of electricity per mount. And depending on the fixture, the number of mounts may change.
So it is very flexible depending on the site as well. So you have several options there.
This was the most requested we had, and probably the reason why they went through the development on this. This would be just a standard ring. We had a recent job with 3 of these placed in a foyer with the masking cover, as you see there, and really a fabulous looking fixture. I like the way it has the, not necessarily light in all areas. It looks much more custom.
So a question has come through, and I just want to be sure everyone is clear on this. What you're showing us here is an example of that wire being conductive. And so it is being, it's above the ceiling where it is connecting to driver, J-box, et cetera. It can be below the ceiling, you said, but in this case, in most cases, people are probably going to want it above the ceiling, but that's where all that wiring takes place.
That's correct. This
Okay.
one that you're actually looking at on the screen right now is not a conductive wire. This is going to be the aircraft hanging. The ones that have the silver small cylindrical like can on top are going to be the ones that are capable of the conductive mounting. As we said, we have both options available.
Okay.
This is an example of twisting it, putting a different tape on each side and using a controller. This is why you would need the wire in this setup to control RGBW, but you can see the neat effect you can have with twisting.
Got it.
We're just going to go back real
Yeah.
quick just to showcase that.
This would be a conductive mount right here. You can see the can. This has 3 mounts for structural reasons, but it only requires the electricity to go through 2 of them. If this was going to be a factory built fixture, we would have those marked, but your driver would then be above in the attic. Well, actually, your wiring would go into there. Your driver can be remotely mounted wherever, but the electricity would then travel through the mount and into the fixture without a visible wire showing.
And is there a limit to the lumen output or the power that is being drawn? Is there some limitation when it's a conductive situation?
Currently, no. As long as there will be with how far away you can get the driver in that situation.
Okay.
But if you were to say have the driver right above the fixture, then there wouldn't be limitations for the conductive mounting purposes. There would be that our tape has the.
So it's more a voltage drop issue than it is a power issue.
Our highest output tape at 3000 Kelvin is going to have about 712 lumens a foot. You can fit 4 rows. So you've got 2800 lumens per foot is going to be your maximum, not because of the mounting, but because of the tape that we're going to guarantee it in. And
we have a question that came in that is that question of what is the distance from driver to the fixture, like maximum distance for those high output tapes, 10 feet, 4 feet, 20 feet?
That's going to be load dependent. So that the size and output of the fixture, we have charts on our website. If you go to the driver section and you look for voltage drop chart, it'll have all the distances that you can get away from there. And you would just assume like the 20 gauge wiring for the mounting, as it's going through the conductive mounting, it'll have the same properties. This would be the RGBW Wi-Fi controller. It's very tiny. The mono dimmer is small to fit inside the Giza Duo LL. So you could actually have dimmers inside your fixtures on these. I don't know if we have enough time to go over the complete series. They are available on the website for more information. And you can always send us an email to quotations@klusdesign.com requesting more information, and we can give you the complete breakdown on wireless dimming inside the fixture.
One of the nice things, if you're looking at this, what it is showcasing, it's showcasing the fixture itself, but it's also showing the masking cover underneath there. So in cases where you want to hide that and still have that remote access within there, we have the masking covers which help hide those electronics in a nice way. So you could actually envision maybe putting the masking covers on the back side where you're hiding the electronics, and on the front side you're doing the light. However you'd like to do that. This is just another option for control.
You combine that with the conductive mounting, and you can have your entire dimming system through any Wi-Fi device controlled without any wiring showing. This is a video on the.
Now, do we have time to show this quick
Yeah,
video?
sure, go ahead.
Okay.
This is going to
I say
showcase.
20 minutes, but I really mean 23.
Okay. This is going to showcase the mono controller and the RGBW Wi-Fi box. I think will be next. If we don't have time to go over them, like I said, get a hold of us, we'll get this information to you. But it's a very nice app, very easy to use. It has timers. You can control it from anywhere that you have the internet. It does not require Wi-Fi to continuously work, only to make the changes. So you can take your Wi-Fi device like your phone, set it all up, and then you can go away and it'll still continue to operate the way it was before. You can set up automations, groups, scenes, as you see there. So it's got a lot of control. This is going through the dimming. Some of the nice things about the dimming in here is you can control the speed at which it dims. So you can have it almost instant, like you see here, or as you see that slider going down lower, you can increase that value so that when you say bright, it takes up to 5 to 10 minutes to fully get up. So think like a sunset, slowly wake you up to the right lumen output. I meant sunrise, actually.
Depends on when you get a
Yes. But either way,
sorry, is that a web app or is that an Android or iOS app?
It's an Android and iOS app. Now this is going to be the RGBW. This one has the same features that the mono has, but it has lots more. Obviously, being able to change the control or the color and the output level simultaneously. One of the other interesting features that may be shown, if you see that box that says mono, that tab right under the color wheel there, you can actually use this as a 4 slider mono controller. So 4 separate dimming channels out of one device. And it even has a different, you see the sliders there, that they would gray them out. So you could have individual control of 4 separate ones within one box, which is considerably more cost effective than buying 4 of the mono dimmers. Just making this a very useful and configurable box. Now, this is going to show the color changing along with the ability to control the speed at which it changes, and also effects like fade and flash and strobe, which I'm sure you're all aware of, but also the speeds at which you can do that. And then it's going to go on to show you how you can make your own custom effects and save them in there and have it do things that, for your individual needs.
So you can envision, using that along with the masking covers, all various aspects of that makes the product itself really flexible and a lot of different options within your design. So if you have any questions or anything, of course, thank you so much for listening to us.
One last thing I'd like to add in is one of the interesting, not as well known aspects of the Giza Duo is you can use some of our raised covers. So you can use the square raised cover or the rounded cover on both sides, making very neat looking sconces that just stick to the wall with a, with the same type of suspension, but it would just be on a very short rod or an offset depending on needs. But it's very useful and it changes the look altogether.
That's a great idea. Jeff, Paul, thank you guys so much today for joining us.